Right here's the very back northwest corner of the Miller property, and here is the old the north boundary, the fence line. You can see it goes down in this. We did some dirt work here, so but this is the original fence. It's been here since as long as we've owned it. And looking to the south, this is the west edge of our property. It goes down to about where that cedar tree is there, and I'm going to walk down and film the other side of the fence. But basically, right here is the north side of our property, and here's the original fence. This is looking to the east. You can see the restaurant sitting up there at the very end, but the property goes clear to the highway, and this is from the west end, the back fence looking clear up to the east end of the property where the restaurant sits. And of course, along here is the south side of the property where you can see this big poles are where the old fence the fence is still there, and I'll get up there and show that to you in just a second. This is the south side of our property, and this is the southwest corner post right over here. And like I said, when we bought this fence has been here for as long as we've owned this property. Again, this is looking to the east. You can notice here we've got some trailers that we've moved in here. We rent them out to oil field housing companies. And once again, here is the south side of our property. This is the original fence. It's been here, like I said, since we've owned this property. And I think it was like in '55. I think that's what Jeremy told me when it was on the abstract. But as you can see, this used to be an old roping arena when we was back in the early '60s, because we put this fence up here to, well, not the fence, but this top wire on the fence here, because we used to have a roping arena out here. And so, like I said, this fence line goes clear to the highway, as you can see, and this fence has never been moved or altered in any way. This is the original fencing. You see the old Chris-Oak ties here have been here since since as long as I can remember, and that's been a long time ago. The property in question here is the property that the cafe sits on, and you can see the restaurant here. The restaurant was built and opened up in 1967, as when my mom and dad opened this. And anyway, we've had a survey done off the Felder survey by Dividends to sell. We just wanted to sell the front part of the property. So this stake here, done by Dividend, represents the southwest corner of the property that we conveyed to the Mathises, and it runs in a straight line. And I believe they told me they drove a stake up there just beyond that post in the highway, or put a pin in. And again, you can see the restaurant here, and then I'll walk over to straight south, and we have a pin and a stake over a pin on the south. That was a northwest pin. This is the southwest pin right here. And again, this is the fence line that runs from the back of the property clear up to the highway, and there sits a cafe. Now, the state of Oklahoma actually put part of this paving in. They were straightening out the highway in 1980, I believe, somewhere along in there. But they put pieces of pavement in our driveways here. So this fence has been here, you know, like I said, from the original time we bought this property. And this is right here, looking over here, this is the pin driven by Dividends in the survey, in which we told them that as far back as we wanted to sell the land. So they did that off the Felder survey. And back over here, across our south fence, is Owen Halsey's, the Halsey place. And as you can see back in here, there are some buildings back here, and Mr. Halsey, when I was in junior high, used to pay me like $20, and that was quite a bit of money back when I was like, I didn't have my driver's license. But I can remember climbing this very fence, walking over there, and feeding his peacocks and quail. That he used to love to hunt quail, and he raised his own quail, and he had peacocks back here too. And there used to be an old windmill over there, and I spent some time over there attending to Mr. Halsey's birds. And but like I said, here goes the fence line straight down back to the west. You can see the fence line and the trailers that we looked at before. So the fence line, like I said, has been here since we owned this property. And then again, we built this place in 1967. And then you can look right up here across this driveway, and I'll walk up here to show you the pen they drove on the southeast portion of the highway. Here again is the fence. Mr. Halsey used to drive down here, and this was his access. Of course, it's pretty well grown over. You can kind of still see the old remnants of the road, but it's all grown over. But Mr. Halsey used to come in here, down this fence line here, and to access his property. And like I said, in 1980, I believe, in the early 80s, the state of Oklahoma straightened out this highway, and they paved. They put this pavement in here in Mr. Halsey's driveway, and that's been there. And then you can see right here, we paved. The state stopped here, and we paved on back. And then there's the restaurant, and then there's the north side of our property. And up in here is the stake that Jividence drove in according to the dimensions off the Felder survey done in 2000, I believe it was. You can see the fence line, the south fence boundary to the Miller Cafe property. And here's the gas meter, which I'm quite sure that they installed out here when we put the restaurant in, and that was we opened up, I believe it was January of 1967. So Miller's Cafe has been here for many years, 40-some years. And like I said, here's down the south boundaries of the property, the fence line, and this is looking off again to the north. So this is the restaurant, and like I said, it's been in business and maintained a daily operation since 1967. The issue of the question on the survey and the abstract difference was brought to light in 2000 when a gentleman named Dwight Hall commissioned Felder and Associates out of Okeen to do a survey. And the reason being was I think him and Mr. Whoever owned this property here, the old Lampride, had a little issue about water. They, as you can see here, they raised this up quite a bit, and a lot of water ran over into the Hall property, which is located right here. And at that point in time, he asked them to address this issue several times. To my understanding, they chose not to do anything, and so his solution, I think, was to put a retaining wall along this fence line. And of course, spending that kind of money, he wanted to make sure the property boundaries were straight. So at that time, he commissioned Felders and Associates to come in and survey this. And lo and behold, the whole schmozzle was off, I believe, like 150 feet. So at that point in time, he came to the Lampride, and I believe Mac Drake owned it then, and no, I mean Carmen, the Carmen Co-op owned it then. And he came to us, and we all sat down like gentlemen, and we agreed to convey property over to straighten up the title issues. And at that time, we felt like, and I was under the understanding that everything was taken care of. And we sold, conveyed this property over to the Mathises in June, and they took possession in July. And of course, they had a title opinion done by their attorney, Mr. Bays, or not Mr. Bays, but Ed Sutter, and Alva. And then he discovered that, lo and behold, we had a problem, and it didn't stand here. My speculation is that it goes clear to the section line, which is, I'm going to say maybe a quarter of a mile. This is the next property to us is, of course, the Halseys, and then over there is the Joneses. So I suspect it goes clear to the section line, which I believe is about a quarter of a mile from where I'm standing right now. So You know, if nobody had ever done a survey, we wouldn't have this problem, but obviously we do, and it's just our intent to get the title straightened up so we can convey our interest and get it right with them so the Mathises can continue to operate. And it is my understanding they want to do quite a bit of remodeling, and of course they want to make sure that everything is square. And but like I said, it's kind of a mess, but that's just our intentions. We want to be in good faith with them, and I told them that we've been real diligent in trying to get this matter cleared up, and it's our intent to get it straightened away and so they can have clear title to their property, and that's our only intent in this matter.